Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, I'm going to cover game 24 of Smithy's Opening Fundamentals. We have Geeb versus Young Smithy on the internet in 2005. So let's go ahead and go over that game. So SmithyQ comments here that includes this game. He includes this game as a warning of sorts. Chess is a concrete game, and every rule has exceptions. Even the rules that I've spent the last 100 examples harping on, right? Meaning the 100 games that SmithyQ has analyzed here and given you all for examples on the rules to follow. So here we're going to see SmithyQ with the black pieces breaking those rules and winning. Okay, so F5. In this game, I disobey virtually every opening rule I teach in this course, and I win in dominating fashion. In the first two moves, I'm moving pawns instead of pieces and weakening my king's diagonal. Okay. D6, right, blocking this bishop here. That's 3 pawn moves in the first 4 moves. Okay. Knight F3, bishop G7, knight D2, knight H5. Okay. So knight D2, I'm not sure what the idea is here, right? I know this square's attacked twice. And now maybe white wants to break here, right? And now the knights support this square as well. Takes, knight takes. If knight takes, then we have knight takes. And white breaks open the position here. Okay, so knight h5, moving a piece twice in the opening, attacking this bishop. Okay. E3, defending the bishop. Knight captures f4. E captures f4. And this just, white just drops a pawn here with this exchange. Here, SmithyQ gets greedy, winning material instead of finishing development. Queen f3. Okay, so now the queen eyes this b2 pawn and also defends f4. c6 to stop this, to block the queen activity here on this diagonal. And unnecessary pawn moves that don't help development. Again, let's go back, right? Remember, the queen can also drop here. So if black castles, then white has a queen check on d5, winning this bishop. Again, black can also develop knight c6. This seems natural. SmithyQ goes for c6. Knight b3. So this is the third knight move for white, right? So knight went knight to f3, then knight to d2, then knight to b3. So that's 3 moves. And of course, this one attacks the bishop, but the bishop is going to be going back to b6, right? Well, if it goes back to b6, then it'll get trapped, but it's going to go back to g7. Okay, now white castles queenside. So this was the plan for white to castle queenside. Black castles, right, kingside. At least I get castling right, says SmithyQ. So opposite side casting. What can you expect in opposite side casting? Right, you can expect black to start launching pawns on the king side. Start attacking the king side here. On the queen side to attack white's king. And white is going to start launching pawns with a3 and g4. Remember, this pawn is defended by the bishop, so possibly h3, then g4. Bishop d3. Okay, white develops. What's funny is that white is nearly fully developed and black is nearly fully undeveloped. And I spent the next 5 moves still not developing, and I get a winning position. So a5. Right here it says the knight can go to a6 and then b4. The thing is, white has a3, taking away the square. Now let's look at some other options here for black. Bishop d7 is developing, okay? If bishop e6, rook h to e1 attacks his bishop. Knight e6, white plays a3 to take away that square. So a5. Rook h to e1. If white goes a4, then b5, breaking open the king side for white. Black goes a4, knight d2, a3. White retreats the knight to b1. So he's saying that he's going to let black capture, and then this knight will prevent the pawn from queening. Again, if the pawn captures, then the bishop captures here. Bishop captures, and then this pawn is going to drop as well. A captures b2 check. And again, this knight move also provides a fly square for the king to run away. King d2, e5. Now again, you have to, this is a simple fork, right? So if you are white and you see this, you have to see what's the threat. Well, the threat is a fork. Now the thing is that white misses this. White plays g3. You can also capture, right? Or you can retreat your bishop. G3, e4. Again, white falls for a simple fork. Now bishop captures e4, f captures e4, rook captures e4, bishop f5. So SmithyQ says, I finally develop a piece and my opponent naturally resigns. In all seriousness, I show this game to highlight the following. Chess is a concrete game and every rule has exceptions. If you look at this game with a computer, you'll see that most of my moves were engine approved, even though they violate every principle. The principles will help you in the vast majority of games. Ignoring opening principles leads to far, far more losses than wins. Out of 100 examples in this course, this is the only one where the person with the lead in development loses. Treat them as guidelines, not immutable rules. In conclusion, though the general principles are extremely powerful, they are no substitute for calculation. If you can calculate that violating a principle is okay, then have faith in your judgment and do it. Just don't expect it to happen too often. So he's pretty much saying not to overgeneralize, right? Not to overgeneralize. And when you're developing a move, if a move seems natural, hey, this seems like natural development, you have to check it with calculation, visualization, assessing the position after you've made the move in your mind, not actually on the board. But before you make that move, ask yourself, is this move safe? Can it get attacked, etc.? And we'll use this as an example, right? So we'll use this move as an example. We have knight h5. Here, if, again, most beginners can relate to this thinking, overgeneralizing, right? Where white just goes, you know what, I'm going to play, my bishop is attacked. I'm going to play bishop to g3. Black's going to capture, and I can recapture with with the h pawn or with the f pawn, right? And now my rook can get activated, or I can capture with the f pawn here. And that's it. And they end up playing this move. So after this, okay, it seems like a natural move. Now let's say before I make this move, okay, bishop g3, can black continue attacking this bishop, right? Because you might assume, hey, I'm going to move bishop g3, black can capture, or black can also develop, right? Because he still needs to develop. You forget that your opponent can also violate principles if it's in favor for them. So bishop g3 runs into f4, attacking the bishop. Right, so now you go, okay, well, if that happens, I'm going to go bishop h4. Now, from this position, does black have any checks, captures, or threats? Okay, no checks. Captures. Well, black can capture the hanging pawn that's here. Okay, and what about threats? Well, if my bishop is on h4, there's also a pawn here on f4, right? Black they may want to trap my bishop, right? So they can play h6 and then g5 to trap my bishop. With my bishop on h4, if black tries to do that, h6, what are my options? I can't retreat the bishop because it's already trapped here by this pawn. So I'm going to have to sacrifice this bishop and lose 2 points. Remember, a bishop is worth 3 points, a pawn is worth 1 point. So this is a bad trade for white. So that means that this move, bishop g3, is not a good move. And here it has the example in the game. So that means that e3 is a better option because now if knight takes, I capture with the pawn. It's a more even trade. The only thing is that my pawn structure for white is messed up, but it's a better trade. And that's how you double check your moves, right? Okay, you cannot just overgeneralize and just say, oh, I'm just going to retreat my bishop. And this applies to development. Oh, I'm just going to develop. This is a natural move. You have to double check with calculation. See how your opponent can attack that piece. And same thing for you, right? Instead of developing a piece, you might make a pawn move that attacks your opponent. And it works because you've calculated all different possibilities. So again, let me know what you all thought of this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.